Hey guys, good morning. It is Erica from Brains to Beauty. Today I'm going to attempt to film for you my hits and misses, and this is going to be part one. This is actually my fourth attempt at filming this, and all the other times it took me 25 minutes to go through all the products, and I could not, in my hardest attempts, get it to less than that. And so I'm actually going to do this in two parts. The second part will be foundation only, and the first part will be everything else. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing I want to go over are my hits, the things that I do plan on keeping that will not be returned to Target. And the first group of products, you guys should not be surprised that I am keeping them, but they are my L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows. I did do some swatches and take some pictures of these before I filmed, that way I could insert them for this video. But just as a reminder, the colors that I got were 892 Amber Rush, 997 Eternal Sunshine, and 899 Endless Pearl. I absolutely adore these. These in particular, especially the two shimmery ones, Amber Rush and Eternal Sunshine, I think they do best if applied with your finger, while the Endless Pearl, you can actually use a brush and it works as a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful highlight. They're very pigmented and they're very long lasting and they're super affordable. And that is it for these. Of course, all of the pictures that I showed you as far as swatches and close-ups, I will link down below in my blog. I did not take pictures of all of the products. I only did it on the products that I needed to do swatches for. But they will definitely be down there, meaning I didn't include my mascaras. I did not swatch the mascaras, just because I think swatching mascaras is kind of strange. It never looks as good on a swatch as it does on your actual lashes. And the next one I'm gonna keep is my Maybelline New York Master Precise liquid eyeliner. When I had hauled this, I had compared it to my Stila, or at least I was saying that I was gonna compare it to my Stila. And they're similar in the fact that they both have felt tips, but they are definitely not dupes of each other. I would not say I could replace my Stila for this Maybelline, but I think the Maybelline is a great daily alternative to the Stila. While I don't need to wear waterproof or long wearing every day, and so I don't want to use this every day, and it is $20 for 0.5 milliliters of product, while the Maybelline comes with 1.1 milliliters, so you get more than double the amount and it's less than half the price. As far as the comparisons, they look like the same size, but obviously the amount of product is different. They also both have felt tips and they're really awesome for precision, except I will say the Stila is definitely more precise. It has a shorter head and it has a pointier tip, and so you can actually get better lines with the Stila. Also, if you notice in the swatch, the Maybelline is on the bottom and it actually bleeds a little, and so you actually can't get as precise of a line, as it will have a tendency to bleed. It's not as noticeable on your eyelids unless you have super oily lids, but it is something to consider if you're looking for tons of precision. You definitely will get better precision with your Stila than you will with the Maybelline. Also, the Maybelline does fade throughout the day. It is not long wearing like Stila. Stila is also waterproof, so you can actually wash your face and this will still stay on unless you use a makeup remover. But the Maybelline will actually wear out throughout the day, and you can wash it off with water. So it is water soluble, something to consider if you need waterproof or long wearing. But as a daily eyeliner, this is a great alternative. It is as precise as you can probably get in the drugstore, and it's just super affordable. So I'm definitely keeping this. I'm gonna use this as my everyday. I did not wear it today. I am still recovering from pink eye out of my left eye, if you guys follow my blog, or sorry, my vlog. So I'm actually not wearing liquid liner, and I'm not wearing mascara either, because when you have pink eye, it's going away, but I still have it. When you have pink eye, you have to disinfect anything that touches this. So it's really hard to disinfect liquid eyeliner, and it's really hard to disinfect your mascara brush. And so anything that I use on this side was, I actually did my eye makeup with my fingers, and I used a brush to use gel liner, which I disinfected the brush. So that was fine. So I can't use this right now, otherwise I would have showed you guys the look. I was planning on wearing this makeup and then showing you, but like I said, still recovering. I do plan on doing a tutorial with all of these products at one point, but I need to make sure my eye recovers before that happens. Also, if you are following my channel, I did do a tutorial using L'Oreal Infallibles, so definitely go and check that out. I will have it linked over here so that you guys can click on that. And I do, again, plan on doing another L'Oreal Infallible tutorial to include my new eyeliner and the new mascara that I am keeping, which I'll let you know here right now. Of the two mascaras, I am keeping one. I wouldn't say this is like amazing. I wouldn't swear upon it like other people have, but considering the other mascaras that I've tried and that I've had in the past, I do really like it. There are some downsides to it, which is why I want to talk about it, but it is the Maybelline The Rocket. I am going to keep it. This is the non-waterproof, the regular formula. I don't do waterproof because I wear contacts and waterproof smudges them like seriously bad. First and foremost, it has really tiny bristles, which is awesome because the shorter the bristles are, the closer you can get it into the base of your lashes without the actual bristles touching your eyelid and causing a mascara mess. So I actually love the fact that these bristles are super duper tiny. Also, the brush head is pretty bulky, but you can actually get a lot of product on this brush. You actually can dip it in once and do both sides of your lashes and do 2 coats of both sides without having to go back in for product. Now, I will mention this does great job at volumizing and separating, but it does nothing for length. It did not provide any length whatsoever, so if you have issues with length, but you want volume, I would suggest using a lengthening mascara like the Illegal Links underneath, and then putting this on top for additional volume and separation, because this does a great job at volume and separation. Now, as far as the downsides and why I wouldn't swear upon this is, one, there's not a lot of product in here. When I got the brush, it comes completely separate and it actually has a little cap in the packaging. When I stuck the brush in, only like a third of the brush had product on it, which I thought was insane because I put it in, pulled it out, and only a third of it was covered, meaning that there really isn't a lot in here. And even if it is, you really have to like dig around in there to get it fully coated. So it may look like a really big packaging, but there's really not a lot of product in it. The other thing is, it takes a really long time to dry. The actual formula is pretty, it's creamy, it's not liquidy, so it's not runny or anything like that, but it takes forever to dry. I'm one of those where I curl, apply, and then curl, but it has to be dry in order for me to curl it again. Otherwise, you end up getting all the mascara on the curler, and it took a good 10 minutes before it even got to a point where it was slightly tacky and not completely wet. And so for this, you really can't do the curl, apply, and curl because it doesn't really ever dry. Also, it puts on an excessive amount of product. For instance, if I wear my Illegal Lengths, it takes me about 2 swipes to completely remove all of my mascara with a makeup wipe. With this, it took me about 5 or 6 swipes to really get it all off. Just in the 2 swipes that I do on each side, 2 layers, it took me 6 wipes to get it all off. So you're ending up, not only does this not have a lot of product, but when you put it on, it puts on so much that you're gonna run out really quick, especially if you like to wear mascara heavy and you put on lots of layers. This is gonna go really fast. Just something to consider, but right now it's probably my favorite volumizing and separating mascara that I have. I have tried the falsies, and that ended up clumping on me really early, and that ended up running out of product really quickly too, and it's probably because it has the same problem where there isn't a lot of product in here. Goods and bads, I am gonna keep it, but I probably won't repurchase it. I may try to find something else after this one runs out. So that is it for my hits. As far as the misses, I am getting rid of 3 products. The first one is the CoverGirl Lash Blast Mascara. This is the non-waterproof. This is the regular formula as well. Again, I don't do waterproof. I do hear that the waterproof does great, and I know a lot of people swear upon this, but for me, this actually clumped so bad and it weighed down my lashes. I could not wear this for very long, and even though it dries much faster than this and I can curl this again, I can do the curl, apply, curl, it did not hold the curl. So even after I curled it again, it was still so heavy that my lashes fell no matter how many times I curled it again. There is a lot of product, and if you look at the sizes, they look exactly the same, but this has almost like 3 times as much product, but it's so hard to put on. It's such a heavy formula, I really can't wear it. So this is gonna go back. Also, the bristles are really long, and so it's hard to get into the base without accidentally getting mascara onto your lid. So this one is actually hard to apply as well. I am not a fan of it. I know some people love it. I know some people hate it. I'm definitely on the miss side of it, so this is going back. Okay, so the next miss I'm really disappointed in, and it's because I really love the color tattoos, the Maybelline color tattoos. This is the Inked in Pink. I think the color is gorgeous. Looking at it now in the container, it is so pretty. It is so pretty. I love this pink. Like, I want to get pink lipstick of this color. It's such a pretty pink. The problem is that this to me is not as bold or as pigmented as the other color tattoos. It almost goes on sheer on me. I don't know if it's because of my complexion or if it's because of the formula. This is of the metal collection, unlike the other ones that I have that are not metal. They're just the regular color tattoos, while this is color tattooed metal. But this does not work for me, and the picture that you guys are seeing as far as the swatch, I actually had to put 4 layers of this on for it to show up on my arm. And I did all of my swatches on the back of my arm, which is significantly lighter than the front side of my arm, and it still didn't show up very well. And even on my eyelid, when I didn't have pink eye, it looked like I had pink eye. It just made my eyes look pink and irritated, and not like a pretty pink. And I do wear pink eyeshadows. I absolutely love pink eyeshadows, but this one just made me look sick. And like I said, it might be my complexion because I know a lot of people like this. And it's not the line, it's just this color, because I have 4 other color tattoos that work wonderful. This one just did not work for me, so this is gonna go back. And I'm sad about it because it is such a pretty color. It really is a pretty color. Like, I look at it and it's such a pretty color. I'm so sad. That one's going back. Okay, and then the last product that is going back is my Maybelline Dream Matte Powder. When I first tried it, I raved about it on Twitter and Facebook. But then once I started using it again and again, I started realizing that I didn't really like it. I thought it was going to be awesome because so many people raved about it. The problem for me is that when I'm looking for a powder, I'm looking for something that also provides a little bit of coverage, mattifies my foundation, and gives a little bit of color and balances out the foundation that I'm wearing, because many of the drugstore foundations that I have don't match me exactly, and I like to use a powder to balance it out, to make it seem a little bit more natural. This did none of that. That's why I love my Multitasking by Milani so much, because it provides a little bit of coverage, it mattifies, but it also has a little bit of a glow to it, so it really gives you that natural look. And like I said, it has some coverage. This is so sheer, it does nothing. And if you notice my swatch, that also took me 4 or 5 swatches. Actually, I think that one took 5 swatches for it to show up on me because it was such a sheer color. I have a really awesome translucent powder that I already have. It is the Makeup Forever HD Micro Finish Powder. And I love that stuff. If I wanted a sheer powder, then I'm just gonna use the powder I already have. I'm not gonna go and buy this one that does nothing for me. At least that one provides me a beautiful shimmer and it does great in photography. This does nothing. It didn't provide me any cover. It mattified slightly, but not much. It didn't do much for oil control, and it definitely didn't give me any glowy dewiness. It did nothing. I expected so much more from this, and I'm just sad to say that I'm gonna return it because it's really not what everybody says it is. Unless you're looking for a sheer powder that does nothing other than set your foundation, then great, but there are other products out there that do the exact same thing but also provide other things that make it even worth the money, or even cheaper alternatives, to include like Rimmel and NYC. That is it. Those are the 3 products that I'm going to return: the CoverGirl Lash Blast, the matte Maybelline Dream Powder, and my color tattoo. The things that I'm keeping, again, are my L'Oreal Infallible eyeshadows, the Rocket Mascara, and Maybelline Master Precise. So as you guys can see, this video is very long. This is why I'm leaving the foundation out, because the foundation themselves have so much more that I want to talk about, because I really did try out all 3 products. I want to talk about them in great detail. So that is it for part 1. I hope you guys enjoyed this hits and misses. If you guys have any questions, even though I have said almost everything that I could possibly say about these, but if there is anything I left out that you guys are wondering or curious about, please feel free to comment down below. If there are other things you guys think I might like better than the things that I did not like and I should try out, Please let me know down in the bottom. Also, if you guys like these hits and misses, make sure to thumbs up. And also, if you guys are interested in part 2 or in the future tutorial featuring my L'Oreal Infallibles, my new ones, make sure to subscribe so that you guys will be able to see that when it comes out. Thank you guys so much. I'm gonna go ahead and film part 2, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Thanks for watching. This is Erica from Brains to Beauty. Hey guys, I'm so excited. I am finally doing my skincare product routine explanation. This is going to be kind of a long video because I have a ton of different products. There are things that I use every single day, and then there's other things